everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am answering one of my most frequently asked questions, and that is Weight Watchers Freestyle working for me? How do I work the program to make it work for me? Do I have to adjust it to make it work for me? So those are just a few of the questions that I get almost on an everyday basis on my videos. So welcome back to my channel. So I am just going to jump right into this and just give you some tips on how I make the Weight Watchers Freestyle work for me. I do know it's called WW now. I just like saying Weight Watchers because that is what it is to me. So some of you may not agree with these. Some people may have the idea that a program should just work for you and you should just be able to do what it says and it should just work. I just have a little bit difference of opinion about that. So for me, Weight Watchers is just a blueprint. It is just giving you a guide. It gets you going in the right direction, but I have to adjust it to adapt to my body. I have had to do that with any kind of lifestyle, way of eating, whatever you want to call it. I know people don't like to use the diet word. I disagree with that because to me, a diet is just a way of eating. A diet is not, I think it's just all because it's been attached to weight loss, then it's just given kind of a bad rap. But to me, a diet is just a way of eating. It doesn't have to be about weight loss, but my opinion and whatnot. So anyway, these are some of the things that I have to do to make the program work for me. I guess I should answer first, is the program working for me? Yes and no. I have lost about 10.9 pounds on it, and it's been almost a year. December will be a year for Freestyle. I lost more on Smart Points. Now I have to tell you, Smart Points was my very first program with Weight Watchers. That's when I started, was right when Smart Points rolled out. So for me, it wasn't a huge change when Freestyle came along. I did not take it the same way some of the other some people took it who've been on Weight Watchers since Classic Points. But I get it, totally get it now after, you know, seeing even like some changes possibly happening when they did the whole rebranding. I was getting a little nervous, you know, what's going to change now. So I kind of got that anxiety and I understood what people were talking about when all that happened. I also see that people have great success on Points Plus and great success on Smart Points and not so great success on Freestyle. So one of the things I want to address is that is what I'm talking about, adapting it to work for your body. That's why I say it's just a blueprint, and I feel like that Weight Watchers has kind of left these footprints, you know, where people have the possibility to go back. Now, not technically within the program. I do wish that was an option. I wish Weight Watchers would give us the option to do which kind of points we want to do, so we could still stay in the program without having to go outside the program and get a, you know, third-party app. And I understand they are all backed by science. I get that. And I get that the new science that they're learning is that this Freestyle is the way that we should eat. But on the other hand, I feel like, I don't know. I really feel like it's a great maintenance program. I really do. I agree with people who say that. I see people who are on maintenance who are doing fantastic with Freestyle. I also have seen some people really lose some amazing amount of weight since they've been on Freestyle. But a lot of those people, that was their first program with Weight Watchers. Again, I think it's like when you start with any new program, your body tends to let go of quite a bit of weight because it's, you know, adjusting to a new lifestyle way of eating. That's why a lot of people will just mix it up, and that works for me too. That's why I've done those kind of things. That's why I would do Simply Filling sometimes, because it would just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna do this now, and it would, you know, tend to like lose a little bit of weight and kind of break that stall. That was always kind of my tactic. So that's why I say it's just a guide, and I feel like whatever you need to adapt to make it work for you is what you need to do. And again, that's what you need to do with any type of way of eating. I don't feel like that everybody is like people who are on keto or Atkins or low carb, they're not all doing it exactly the same way because it may not work for them all exactly the same way. And that's just the same with Weight Watchers. So you just really have to learn your body, and you have to learn to listen to the cues that your body has. You have to kind of watch the data, which that's what I look at weigh-ins as, is data. Sure, it's nice to see the scale go down, but if it did not go down, instead of getting upset, and unless there's an obvious reason, like it was the holidays, you know, you indulged all week, or just whatever, you know, you had a lot of things going on. If you know the obvious reasons, that's different. But if you're not, and it went up and you're kind of thinking, okay, what happened? And you need to look back and think, okay, well, wait a second, I had this many days of maybe some carb heavy stuff, and it's like, okay, maybe my body does not adapting well to carbs. Maybe I need to make some adjustments there. So that's what I'm talking about, listening to your body. Did you not drink enough water? That's another thing. So I think that a lot of people also look at these lifestyle and way of eating, diets, whatnot, as like, okay, here you go. This is how you need to eat. You're going to lose all this weight. No, even people who just do intuitive eating, or they just try to eat a healthy diet, those people still, if you watch those videos, they still talk about doing their activity. They still talk about drinking their water. They talk about eating when they're hungry, stopping when they're full. All of that stuff needs to be incorporated in any kind of lifestyle that you're in, any kind of way of eating. So I have learned that over the years, just because I have done so many of these, diet plans and, ways of eating, so many. So as far as freestyle, how I make it work for me, these are some tips that I have, thinking all that I just told you in your mind, this is how I make it work for me. A lot of people may not agree with this stuff, again, because a lot of people look at, these diet plans as a way, they should just be able to eat all 200 of those 0-point foods and be just fine and lose weight. Some people probably can. That's the thing, again, it's about your body and this is about your journey. So for me, the 0-point foods, I already ate a whole bunch of those 0-point foods. So for me, it was okay. I know a lot of people, that's where they struggle, because they do not eat those 0-point foods. Now, I feel like there's a lot on that list where I think people can find things on them that appeal to them and that would work for them. You still need to count those 0-point foods. I need to count those 0-point foods. I'm not talking about counting points for them. I'm talking about tracking them. I still need to track those 0-point foods, and I will tell you why in just a second. I also weigh and measure my 0-point foods. Now, I feel like Weight Watchers, that's one thing that I have learned so much from Weight Watchers, and that's portion sizes and portion control. I did counting calories right before Weight Watchers, so I was kind of learning that a little bit leading up into Weight Watchers. That's why Weight Watchers, I think, was so easy for me, because going from counting calories to that it's a lot. You're still tracking, you're still looking at your portion sizes, but it really taught me that if, when some of these 0-point foods were points, I knew that I had to stick to like 3/4 of a cup or to 1 cup of non-fat Greek yogurt, because it was going to cost me X amount of points. And so that is still in my head. I love plain non-fat Greek yogurt. I could eat it a lot. I love bananas. I love apples. I love carrots and celery and all those kind of things. But I also know that it would not be realistic to eat 2 pounds worth of baby cut carrots, because I like them so much, even if I didn't put them in any dip, because they do still have calories and macros. The other thing I try to watch is my blue dot range. So you have, Weight Watchers gives you a healthy range of eating. So you have your low point and up to your high point. So for me, it's like 13 to 28, I believe, is my healthy range. I found when I first started freestyle, I would sometimes be 7 or 8 points, and it was because I was, not that I was eating, there were some days that I was just only eating 0-point foods pretty much, which they stayed within their portion sizes, so it was not a big deal. But there was, most times it was, when I started tracking my 0-point foods, most times it was because I had my regular breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Then outside of that, I was inside, and then with those meals, I was eating a ton of 0-point foods. So I was keeping it like really low points, but I was eating way too much of those. So I knew if I only had 8 or 9 points and I still ate my, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but my breakfast, lunch, and dinner was mostly made up of those 0-point foods. And plus I had so many outside of that, I was eating way too much. I was not listening to my body. I was not listening to those hunger cues. I was just eating because I knew I could eat those things for free. So I know there's people who attach like points to them or attach calories to them and look at them that way. Again, whatever works for you. If that's how they want to do it, that's how they made it work for them. And I understand some people argue that point, so that you shouldn't have to do that. And if you don't want to do that, then yeah, maybe this program's not for you. But I feel like any program, you have to adjust it for yourself. So I don't attach any kind of calories to them. I just track them so I can kind of look at them. My carb heavy stuff, like the beans now that we can eat, I know my body bloats up and reacts to beans very negatively. So I know I have to be careful with them. So I know if I'm gonna have beans with dinner, I'm not gonna have beans with breakfast or lunch. So I just have to look at it like that. I know I shouldn't have beans 3 or 4 times a week. Now lentils don't seem to do the same thing to me that beans do. So those I can incorporate a little bit more. But the fruits and vegetables, I try to just do a balancing act, because I know like my blood sugar tends to really spike if I eat too many fruits. So I also feel like you can take advantage of those 0-point foods though, and really create a meal plan around them. So if you're a person that is, really likes chicken, then, just plan your meal around that. Lentils is another thing. I mentioned that earlier. I have been doing so many amazing things with lentils. So I'm looking at it to be more creative. I just go onto Pinterest, look up lentils, and there's so many recipes out there for things like that. So just be creative. Now that chicken is free, I feel like it's really opened up my creative side, and I feel like that you can do a lot with it. And so that's another thing, is just relaxing. Just relax and let the program work. Again, you cannot forget those basic principles of a healthy lifestyle, and that is drinking your water, getting your activity in, and eating your healthy foods. Another thing that I incorporate, which is not really part of the Weight Watchers Freestyle program, and that's the healthy fats. I know at one time healthy fats were incorporated, I think in the point of olive oil, because when I did Simply Filling, there was you could have so many tablespoons or whatever of healthy fats a day, and I still keep that mindset. I just fit it into my day. So I try to have avocado every day because I feel like that's such an amazing healthy fat for you. I don't know, the future of freestyle for me, because I do feel like it is more of a maintenance program. Like I said, I have lost 10.9 pounds throughout the year. So it has worked for me, but I don't know if it is always going to work for me, because again, I'm not on maintenance. I still have about 25 pounds that I'd love to lose. So am I going to get there with freestyle? I don't know. I'm trying to work the program as much as I can by doing these things, and these things have seemed to work for me throughout the year. Could have lost more than 10 pounds. I have to really kind of blame myself for a lot of that too, because I look back and I think I didn't always have the best weeks. I was not always the best Weight Watcher that I could be. I did not always drink my water. There was weeks upon weeks upon weeks that I never did any activity. So I cannot say that it doesn't work, because I could have done better with all the other principles that go around of a healthy lifestyle. So I would have to really sit there and challenge myself to an entire month where I drink my water every day. I eat, I stay on plan, I do my activity. But is that realistic? Not really. I mean, I feel like that's something that, I want this to be a lifestyle. So I want to be able to go to a birthday party and not have any cake. If I choose to not have any cake, that's fine. But if I want to go there and I say, okay, you know what, I'm going to go to this party with the expectation I'm going to have a pizza, and I'm going to have a piece of cake. And then that's fine, because that's just part of living. That's just part of your life. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like it is working for me. I feel like it's been a great blueprint, as I've said. I have wrestled with the idea of going back to Smart Points and seeing what happens there, because I did have such great success on it. But also, I worked the program back then. I really did. I worked so hard when I first started Weight Watchers. You kind of get that, just that huge, great feeling when you're starting a new plan and you lose 10 pounds the first week, and then you lose another 5, and the next thing you know, you've lost 30 pounds in the first 6 weeks of the program. And it's exciting, it's exhilarating, it gets you pumped up, gets you going, and then all of a sudden it's oh, I only lost a pound this week. Which there's nothing wrong with that, because 1 to 2 pounds is what they say is a healthy range of losing weight. But I think when you have so much to lose and we see other people doing it, then we just want to do it. And so it's really hard to change that mindset. And that's really what it's about, is changing your mindset, is working the program, trying to keep it, healthy for you, listening to your body. That is, all of those points are so important and go along with any kind of lifestyle you're on. But maybe if you are just struggling with freestyle, maybe these tips will help you. So again, just a very quick, rundown of what the tips are. I track my 0 point foods. I weigh and measure my 0 point foods, the portion control. I also go easy on the carb heavy 0 point foods, because that is what my body needs. And I just also keep all the basic principles of a healthy lifestyle in mind, and that's water, activity, and incorporating those healthy fats into your diet. So there you go. Those are my tips on Weight Watchers Freestyle, and I hope this answered that frequently asked question that I get quite a bit. I'm going to be doing more of these videos of my frequently asked questions that I get and do it all in one video so I have somewhere to point you to. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Please let me know down in the comments how you've made Weight Watchers Freestyle work for you. If you're having issues with it, what do you think the issues are? Do you think some of these tips may help you? So I will talk to you guys all in the next video. Bye guys.
There's a light inside your eyes. You make me feel like I'm awake. I don't know why you make me shine like a star in the sky. I'm okay.